Good afternoon. This is a recorded lesson from October 8th and the 9th. And yesterday and today, we did really three things in the classroom. Those three things were not associated with looking at a Let's Talk discussion of new content. So, what we did is we filled out the discussion that you see before you, discussion difficulties faced by new immigrants. And we really spent about 30 minutes on crafting these paragraphs and going over making sure we know how to write a correct paragraph when to in response to a prompt. So in this case, this first thing that we did having to do with discussion, the question is, what are three difficulties that new immigrants to America faced in the late 1800s? What I stress to students is to get full credit on doing this correctly, you have to have a topic sentence. And that the easiest way to create a topic sentence where you will get full credit for starting your paragraph the correct way is just simply take the question and reword it so it's no longer a question. So, with the question, what are three difficulties that new immigrants to America faced in the late 1800s? You just simply turn the words around, and your paragraph should start with something like new immigrants to America faced three difficulties in the late 1800s, or something like that. There's several ways you can turn those words around to create a nice topic sentence to let the reader know what you're going to be discussing in that paragraph. You do not put just one of the difficulties in that first sentence. That makes it sound like the whole paragraph is about that one difficulty. And you're going to be describing three. So don't put one in the first sentence. So that's why it took so long, is because I was giving feedback to everybody as they wrote their paragraphs and was asking them to fix those. We're working on this as a skill that's going to be important in our class, but it's also going to help them in their language arts class with Miss Pate. All right, so that's what we did for the first part of the class. And then the remainder of the class, what we did is we reviewed for a quiz on vocabulary 20, chapter 20, section 2. That's on the growth of the cities. So if you want to go back and look at your notes, look at that PowerPoint, it's on a previous day that says, let's talk the growth of the cities. And so everything you would need to know is in there and you'd make 100. But we didn't just depend on that, on people remembering. Actually, this is one of those rare moments where um, you're allowed to use your notes or the textbook or the online PowerPoint Let's Talk. I did not care. We knew we wanted to do something as a department in the school to help students that may have had some difficulties on previous tests. This was a good opportunity to be successful. So, what we did is we did a practice test and we took some time doing that. And then we went on to the test. So, keeping track, we finished our first part, which was the discussion paragraph. And now, number two, for today, I'm going to do the same thing as in the class, much quicker, of course, but I'm going to go ahead and read out the questions that we studied and responded to as a review for the quiz. And so here goes. I'm going to call them out to you. You can pause if you need to. Of course, I won't take the long pause for uh, waiting for you to write in all of that, but you can do the pauses yourself. Okay, this is America's first amusement park. America's first amusement park. I'll give you a hint. It's not Ellis Island. It's not Angel Island. It is Coney Island. Coney Island. Next, he designed Central Park in New York City. Who designed Central Park? And the answer is Frederick Olmstead. Starts with an O. Olmstead. Who added color comics to his newspaper in 1896? Who added color comics to his newspaper in 1896? The answer is Joseph Pulitzer. Pulitzer. Underground railroads found in major cities are called what? What are these underground railroads found in some cities called? The answer is subways. All right, the next question, I'm just skipping around from my notes here. Uh, Thousands of Chicago residents found work in slaughterhouses and blank plants. Thousands of Chicago residents found work in slaughterhouses and blank plants. These are industries that go together. So the answer is meat packing plants. Slaughtered animals, and you have butchers making meat from them. Next question. This happened during the 1800s when immigrants and native born Americans moved to the cities in record numbers. What's the word there for cities where so many people are moving in record numbers? What happened was the term urbanization. It means the rapid growth of cities. Urbanization is what happened when these people moved in. Quick, rapid growth of cities. Next, architects like Louis Sullivan designed these multi-story buildings. These multi-story buildings are called skyscrapers. A major hub of transportation, railroad lines from the east and west coast connected here. I'm looking for a city name. Where did the railroads from the east and the west connect? What was in the center of them? And it's the city of Chicago. Public transportation that is designed to move many people is called what? Public transportation designed to move lots of people. Mass transit. Mass transit. Residential neighborhoods outside of the downtown area, outside the city. What are these residential neighborhoods called? Suburbs. Suburbs. And giant retail shops that are found in some major cities at that time, they're just now being invented and moving in. Giant retail shops called department stores. Leisure and cultural activities shared by many people. Not transportation, but leisure and cultural activities shared by many people. Mass culture. Mass culture. So that's it. Um, all you have to do is kind of study, get familiar with those terms if you didn't already know them, and then go ahead and get on. Depending on whether you're a gold or a blue, look in the folder Schoology online folder for either the 8th, October 8th or 9th, and take your quiz. And again, you can use any notes that you would like. And if for some reason you don't do as well as you thought you should have, you can always go back and with any of the tests, go back, study, look over your notes again, and you may retake it. So with that, best of luck, and we'll hopefully see you in class, or if you're an online student, we'll see you next time with the next recorded lesson. Bye bye.